What is energy? Someone asked me to make a video about what I mean when I talk about energy or the experience of energy. So I'll frame it by saying that just this, that I point to all the time, can be described as energy. And I would say that's accurate. It's scientifically accurate, and in direct experience, it's quite true. Energy is not limited to just being what we think of as energy. Energy is also matter. It's also form. Emptiness is also form. Formlessness is also form. There's not a distinction from the standpoint of energy itself. So how do we access this? What is the entry point? The entry point is cutting off mind roads. One of the mind roads is time, past and future. Seeing past and future as nothing more than mental constructs, thoughts. We're left with what's right here now, which is not in time. It's not a story or narrative. It doesn't have a past or future. So we've cut off the mind road of time. Let's cut off the mind road of seeking. When there is no time, then there's no future in which we're going to grasp the truth. There's no future we're going to arrive in. There's no future when things are going to be better or worse. There's no future in which we're going to get what we finally think is going to make us happy. So when we've cut off that mind road, it might feel uncomfortable, but the underlying truth of it is peace, because we see that the reason we had been seeking the whole time was because we believed in the first obstruction, which was time, which made us feel separate, which made us feel like we're missing something. We have to solve something on that timeline to make ourselves satisfied or happy or peaceful. And then by continuing to imagine a time when we're going to get what we want or solve the problem of our life, we continue to emphasize that sense of something being wrong in the first place. So when we cut off this second mind road of seeking, we see not only is there nowhere to seek, but there's no need to seek. Everything we need is already here. So what's here? So this third mind road is about space, about distance, about separation. And this is a big one. This one can take a while to see through. So what is separation? Well, we have to look for evidence. But where do we see evidence outside of thought? Right? Oh, sure, we believe the world is divided up into this and that. But those are things we learned, and we learned them a long time ago. But since there's no timeline, there's no time we learned that. So we have to reference the past to access those beliefs. So when we stop referencing the past or something we learned about reality, where do we look for the evidence of separation, of boundaries? Only in the senses. If we're careful and honest about this investigation, the only place we can look is in the sense fields. So look, feel into the body, feel into this space that we call the body, the sensations in this space. Just experience those sensations directly. Now let the mental image of body fall out. Just keep feeling the sensations, wherever they are, however they are. We're not trying to compare anything to an ideal. We're just feeling. So we let the mental images and the labels body and air and environment and room just drop. Those are thoughts. Those are something we learned in the past that doesn't exist. So here we are. Here sensation is only sensing itself. So keep your attention with that sensation. And notice it doesn't have a specific location unless we think about it, unless we add a self or a body or a mind or a space or a room or a world. But when we don't add any of those mental constructs, there's just sensation. However it is, wherever it is, It's not above or below, in front or in back, close or far. It just is. It doesn't need any of those descriptors to be what it is. Those descriptors are overlays. They're ways that we jump back into mental spaces. So let's just let those go. Just those sensations. Now, you might even notice the sensations get subtler, or there's something even underlying the sensation itself. When we see that even the idea of perception, the sensation and the perception of it, are unnecessary dualistic constructs. Something like the outside of the shell and the inside of the shell. And then the shell cracks, so there's no outside or inside. There's no perception of. There's just what's at the core of that sensation. It's not anything you can think about specifically, nothing you can point to or describe, but it's something. It's there. It's not even experience, but it's knowable, let's say, not in the usual sense. It's experienceable, but not in the usual sense. Just remain there. That's energy. Energy meaning it's not matter and it's not matter. It's not moving and it's not still, but it can be moving and still. It doesn't follow any rules of mind or understanding or cognizance. It can be in and out of time. It's neither true or untrue. It's not confined by the usual ways of thinking about reality, meaning real or unreal. It's this way or it's not this way. This is too free to be bound by any of those designations. So completely beyond concept, and yet right here, just as it is. Notice even that the core or kernel of sensation is not apart from the visual field or the auditory fields. It's just a mass of experience. And when the perceptual apparatus that feels like it's receiving the experience is seen to be also a thought, a subtle thought, but a thought nonetheless, then there's just this. It's energetic, but it's also deeply, deeply still. The sum total of all movements is no movement. And this makes total sense from the standpoint of energy, although the mind will never, ever get around it.